Heartland fans, welcome back. The day she had been waiting for has come, but nothing is as straightforward as it seems. Her family's drama, which has been going on for years, isn't going away. Additionally, Amy must confront her most difficult experiences to date. As the hours pass until the birth of her child, will she be able to navigate the chaos and uncertainty, or will the unexpected push her to her limits? The first episode of Heartland's 19th season promises an unforgettable journey through love, loss, and new beginnings. The hospital room is quiet, but the air is thick with tension. As waves of contractions come, Amy is lying in a bed, holding the side with one hand. White walls and the soft buzz of hospital equipment in the background create a sterile environment in the room. Her breathing is steady, but her mind is racing. She seems to have been preparing for this moment her whole life in a way. However, now that it is here, nothing seems clear. The chaos of the outside world, family drama, past heartbreak, and unresolved grief seem to press in on her from all sides. And through it all, there's a quiet, powerful sense of anticipation. A single moment could alter everything. Jack, her grandfather, paces in the hallway outside the delivery room, his face a mask of concern. He has gone through a lot in his life, but this moment, Amy becoming a parent, seems to be the culmination of everything. He is proud of her and how far she has come, but his eyes are also filled with deep worry. He is aware that Amy's life is about to change in ways she cannot fully comprehend because he has witnessed the toll that living on the ranch has taken on his family. The bond that has always existed between them will have to evolve as Amy steps into this new chapter of her life. Meanwhile, Ty's absence weighs heavily on her. Amy can't help but think how much she misses having him with her at this moment. She still feels the raw pain of losing him, and it's impossible to deny how empty she feels without him by her side. The love they shared was deep, and she can't shake the thought that this moment would be so much sweeter if he were here to witness it. However, there is no way to rewind time. As she breathes through each contraction, she knows she has to push forward, for herself, for the baby, and for everyone who's ever supported her. Ty's memory lingers, but she pushes it aside, focusing on the task at hand. This is her moment to prove that she's stronger than the pain, stronger than the loss. She takes a deep breath, knowing that despite everything, she has the support of those who love her. Her journey has been filled with obstacles, but every challenge has shaped her into the woman she is today. The emotional strength she's built over the years is about to be tested in ways she never imagined. Outside the room, Lou and Georgie wait in the lounge, chatting quietly. There's excitement in the air, but also a sense of uncertainty. Lou, as Amy's sister, feels a unique connection to this moment. She's watched Amy grow, watched her navigate the ups and downs of life, and now she's about to become a mother. It's a moment of pure joy, but also one of deep reflection. Lou can't help but think about the challenges Amy has faced and how much she's overcome to get to this point. It hasn't been easy, and Lou knows that even though Amy is strong, the journey ahead will be anything but smooth. Georgie, too, feels the weight of the moment. She's seen Amy struggle, seen her fight through the toughest of times, and now she stands on the precipice of a new beginning. But Georgie's thoughts aren't just on Amy. There's a sense of foreboding, a quiet feeling that something bigger is on the horizon, something that will shake their world to its core. She doesn't know what it is, but she can feel it, like a storm on the horizon. It's as if the calm of this moment is just the eye of the storm, and everything around them is about to change. Back in the delivery room, Amy's breath quickens. She's close now, and the pain is intense, but she's not afraid. She's determined. She knows that this moment will define her, as a mother, as a woman, and as a member of the Heartland family. There's no going back. As the contractions grow stronger, she feels the weight of everything she's ever faced. Her family struggles, her love for Ty, her grief, and her hopes for the future, all pushing her forward. The horses are restless. There's something in the air. A change is coming. The winds are shifting, and nothing will ever be the same. The Heartland that Amy has known, loved, and fought for is about to be tested once again. And as she welcomes her child into the world, She doesn't yet know what the future will hold. But one thing is certain, the journey is far from over. As Amy's baby is born, she's filled with an overwhelming sense of love and responsibility. The pain of labor fades into the background, replaced by the pure joy of holding her newborn child for the first time. The baby's small hand wraps around her finger, and for a moment, time seems to stop. The world outside the hospital room feels distant, like a lifetime away. In this moment, it's just Amy, her baby, in the beginning of a new chapter in her life. But as she looks into her child's eyes, she knows that this is only the beginning of a new and unpredictable journey. As Amy cradles her newborn in her arms, a deep sense of peace washes over her. For the first time in a long time, the weight of her past, the loss of Ty, the trials on the ranch, the heartache that has defined so much of her life, seems to recede into the background. In these quiet, tender moments with her child, she feels a kind of rebirth. The world outside might be filled with uncertainty, but in this room there's only love, hope, and a new beginning. Yet even in this moment of bliss, the echoes of the past refuse to be silenced. The shadow of Ty's absence still looms large over her. As she gazes down at her baby, her mind drifts to memories of him. The way he held her hand during the hardest times, the way they talked about their future together, about building a family. The void left by his passing feels even more profound now that she holds their child in her arms. She can't help but wish he were there to share this beautiful moment. It's a reminder that nothing in life comes without its challenges, and the journey ahead will require strength Amy isn't sure she's ready for. As she adjusts to motherhood, Amy finds herself torn between joy and grief. The baby's soft cries tug at her heart, and she promises to give everything she has to ensure this child knows love and warmth. But she can't escape the feeling that something is missing. The person who should be there, standing by her side through it all, is gone. She finds herself asking once again how she can do this without him. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the rest of the family's gathered, each feeling the ripple effect of Amy's new chapter. Lou and Peter arrive at the hospital to join the others, bringing a sense of comfort and support. Lou, always the pragmatic one, is filled with excitement, but there's also a hint of anxiety. As much as she's thrilled to become an aunt, she can't help but worry about the new challenges Amy will face, both as a mother and as someone who's still grieving. Lou wants to help, but she also knows that some battles are ones Amy will have to fight on her own. Peter is more reserved than Lou, standing quietly by her side as they make their way to Amy's room. It's clear that he's concerned for his sister-in-law, but he's also mindful of the delicate emotions at play. He is eager to assist Amy, but he's unsure of the best way to do so because he's aware of the extent of her suffering. The dynamics of the family have shifted, and Peter can't help but wonder how Amy's new role as a mother will affect the delicate balance they've all been working to maintain. Amy's future has also been on Georgie's mind. She can feel the baby's excitement, but she can't shake the sense that Amy's journey is far from over. She knows that more obstacles, more heartbreak, and more challenges lie ahead. Georgie's own life is on the brink of a new chapter as well, with her equestrian dreams growing ever more tangible. But even as her own ambitions take center stage, she can't forget about Amy, about how her role as a sister, a daughter, and now a mother will be tested in ways none of them could have anticipated. Georgie has always been inspired by Amy's strength, but the reality of motherhood will put her to the test in ways she has never experienced before. Even though Amy's family will be there for her, Georgie knows that this is a journey Amy must take on her own. But that doesn't mean Georgie won't be there to offer her support. Support in whatever way she can. The two women's bond is stronger than ever, and Georgie is aware that as Amy assumes this new role, it will be even more crucial for them to rely on one another. However, there is a subtle undercurrent of tension, even as the family gathers at the hospital. It appears as though the growing sense of unease has reached its boiling point over the past few months. Both Lou and Peter are aware that the tranquility they are experiencing now will pass. They exchange glances. There's a palpable feeling that something is on the horizon, something that will shake their world and Amy's to its core. But what is it? What lies ahead for Amy, for the ranch, for the family? As Amy holds her baby, a new layer of complexity begins to emerge. The baby's arrival marks a new chapter, but it also brings new questions. Will Amy's grief ever fully heal? Will the love and joy she feels for her child be enough to mend the fractures in her heart? And most importantly, given that so much of her past remains unresolved, how will she proceed? These are questions only time can answer, but the answers won't come easily. Every new step Amy takes will be a challenge, one she'll have to face with strength, determination, and the unwavering support of those around her. Meanwhile, in the shadows, a figure watches, unseen, unnoticed. This person knows that the peaceful moment at the hospital is just the calm before the storm. The wheels have already been set in motion. There are decisions to be made, secrets to be uncovered, and a reckoning on the horizon that no one at Heartland is prepared for. Despite the fact that Amy's family rallied around her in her hour of need, there are far more pressing issues ahead that could alter everything forever. As the family gathers in the hospital room, there's a sense of unease in the air, a knowing that this moment, as joyful as it may be, is merely the beginning of something much bigger. Amy's journey into motherhood is just the first step in a larger, more unpredictable path. And as the screen fades to black, the question remains, what's coming next? The quiet hum of the hospital fades into the background as the family settles into their new roles. Amy, now a mother, is adjusting to the overwhelming sense of responsibility that comes with caring for her newborn. The exhaustion is palpable, but the joy of holding her child keeps her going. Every moment feels like a delicate balancing act as she tries to process her grief while embracing the love that surrounds her. But despite the overwhelming emotions, a sense of doubt lingers in the corners of her mind. Can she truly do this alone? The ranch continues to operate normally back at Heartland, but there is a feeling of tension throughout. Jack, while proud of Amy, can't ignore the nagging worry in his chest. The ranch has weathered its fair share of trials, but Amy's grief, coupled with the new responsibility of raising a child, adds a layer of uncertainty that Jack struggles to come to terms with. He's seen his family go through so much, but the birth of Amy's child is a reminder of the passing of time and the inevitable changes that come with it. The family dynamic is shifting in ways that even Jack, the pillar of stability, can't quite control. Always the organizer, Lou has thrown herself into ranch logistics management. But even she can't avoid the emotional turmoil that hangs over the family. She watches Amy from a distance, sensing the deep emotional scars that have yet to fully heal. Lou's protective instincts have always been strong, and now as she watches her sister step into this new chapter of motherhood, she feels an even stronger urge to shield Amy from further pain. But Lou knows that sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you can't protect someone from what they need to face. Amy's journey is her own, and as much as Lou wants to fix everything, she understands that some things can't be fixed. Lou faces her own challenges as she tries to fulfill her role as a supportive sister. Her relationship with Peter has always been complicated, but now with the arrival of the baby, their bond feels even more fragile. Peter, who has been a steady presence in Lou's life, is a rock in his own way. But the stresses of their different careers, their responsibilities to the ranch, and the growing distance between them are taking a toll. Lou can't help but wonder if they're growing apart, even as they're supposed to be coming closer together. It's a quiet, nagging fear, one she tries to bury beneath the busyness of life, but it refuses to be ignored. Georgie, too, finds herself grappling with new emotions. As the baby settles into the Heartland fold, Georgie begins to understand the weight of responsibility in ways she never had before. The future of the ranch and the family rests heavily on their shoulders. She's been a part of Heartland for a long time now, but this feels different. She's not just a girl trying to prove herself anymore. She's growing into a young woman, someone who will have to step up and carry on the legacy of Heartland, whether she's ready or not. The pressure to succeed, to honor the history of the ranch, and to help Amy through this new chapter of her life weighs on Georgie more than she's willing to admit. But there's also an underlying excitement. As much as the future seems uncertain, Georgie can't help but feel that the next few years will be pivotal for her and for the ranch. Amy's baby isn't just a new addition to the family. The infant is a symbol of renewal, hope, and the possibility of a new beginning. But as Amy navigates the early stages of motherhood, She realizes that the road ahead isn't as clear-cut as she'd hoped. There are sleepless nights, moments of doubt, and the ever-present shadow of the life she once shared with Ty. Both comforting and painful are the memories of him. She swears that when she holds the baby, she can almost feel his presence, as if he is watching over them both at times. But in those quiet moments, the grief is overwhelming, and the emptiness of his absence is impossible to ignore. Yet there's a sense of determination in Amy that's stronger than the grief. She's always been a fighter, and now more than ever, she needs that strength, not just for herself, but for her child. The future might be uncertain, but Amy refuses to let fear or sorrow define the life she will build with her baby. She's determined to honor Ty's memory, but she also knows she can't live in the past forever. There's a delicate balance to strike, and Amy's journey of healing is just beginning. As the tension within the family continues to rise, peace is rare. Jack, Lou, and Peter all find themselves grappling with their own emotions and fears. Each person has their own way of processing the changes. But one thing is clear: the arrival of Amy's baby has opened a new chapter no one saw coming. The winds of change are blowing through Heartland, and nothing will ever be the same again. Outside the walls of the hospital, the larger world continues to shift. The ranch is facing new difficulties that have the potential to completely shake the family. Heartland's future is the subject of persistent rumors and ever-increasing cries for change. The ranch itself is on the verge of a new era, one that could alter everything they've worked for. And it's not just the family dynamics that are changing. There are decisions to be made, alliances to form, and struggles to face. In addition, as Amy adjusts to her new role as a mother, she will soon realize that the difficulties she faces will not only come from within the family, but also from factors outside of her control, with the potential to destroy everything. Amy contemplates their future as she holds her infant close. There's so much she still has to learn, so much she still has to prove. She does, however, experience a glimmer of hope for the first time in a long time. Despite the struggles, despite the pain, there's still love. And with love, there's always the chance for a new beginning. The question is whether it will be sufficient to get them through the approaching storm. The days after Amy's baby is born seem to stretch on endlessly, yet pass by in the blink of an eye. The family adapts to the new normal, but the undercurrent of tension continues to simmer just below the surface. Amy, though filled with a fierce love for her child, struggles to reconcile her grief with her new reality. There are days when she feels as though she's drowning in memories of Ty, his absence in every room, in every moment she shares with the baby. But she knows she can't let it consume her. For her child's sake, she has to find a way to move forward. However, the grief doesn't always fade so easily. Sometimes, in the quiet of the night, Amy can't help but question whether she's truly ready for the responsibility of motherhood. The weight of it all, raising her child alone, honoring Ty's memory while forging her own path, feels overwhelming. There are days when she wonders if she'll ever feel whole again, or if the emptiness will always follow her like a shadow she can't shake. Yet in her heart, she knows she has to keep going. For the baby, for Heartland, for the future. Jack, the family's rock, keeps a close eye on Amy, his concern growing with each passing day. While he tries to maintain his strong exterior, he can't help but feel helpless. He's proud of Amy, proud of her resilience, but he's also painfully aware of how much she's carrying, the weight of the ranch, the past, and Ty's loss. Jack fears it might break her. He doesn't know how much longer she can shoulder it all without cracking. Jack wonders if the family will ever truly recover from Ty's death. During the quiet moments when he's alone with his thoughts, he has seen this kind of pain before, but the loss feels different now. It's not just the family's history at stake, it's the future. Lou, still grappling with her own issues, watches Amy struggle with an aching heart. She's proud of her sister, but Lou can't shake the nagging feeling that something more is coming. Love and loyalty form the foundation of the family, but cracks are beginning to appear, and Lou is concerned that these cracks will only get bigger over time. She's tried to keep everything together, to be the glue that holds the family in place, but she knows there are limits. As much as Amy needs her, Lou can't help but feel the weight of her own life pushing her in different directions. Her relationship with Peter is strained, and the stress of balancing her family obligations with her personal ambitions is taking a toll. The question Lou keeps asking herself is whether she can keep it all together or if she too will fall apart. Lou notices subtle shifts in Georgie as she watches Amy adjust to motherhood. The young woman who was once solely focused on her ambitions of becoming an equestrian champion now has to assist Amy in navigating this new phase of her life. The way Georgie looks at Amy conveys a profound admiration. She is extremely protective of Amy. However, Georgie is also beginning to realize that some unexpected changes are about to occur in her own life. Something is coming, and she can feel it in her bones. It will challenge everything she thought she knew about her place in the world. Both Georgie's ambitions and sense of responsibility are expanding. There's a quiet strength emerging in her, one that was always present, but now has to be harnessed for the sake of the family. She is aware that she cannot pursue her goals without taking into account the consequences for the people she adores. Even though Georgie longs for more, she is aware that the heart of Heartland will always pull her back. The ranch is in her blood. Georgie's relationship with Amy is changing, and she is beginning to feel like an adult who can help the ranch succeed in the future. But there's also a sense of something greater, something more pressing on the horizon. Tensions build up, not only within the family but also on the ranch itself. As the days pass, the cattle, the land, and the day-to-day operations are becoming more difficult to manage. With Ty gone, there's a hole in the practical side of the ranch's work, one that Amy can't fill on her own. Jack and Lou do their best to manage, but the strain is taking its toll. New challenges are emerging, drought conditions that threaten the ranch's cattle, financial pressures that are squeezing the family's resources, and external factors beyond their control. The ranch that has stood for generations is now facing an uncertain future. It becomes clear to the family that they will have to make some difficult decisions as they deal with these pressures. The future of Heartland hangs in the balance. The ranch is a symbol of everything the family has built together and has always been more than just land and livestock. But in this moment of crisis, the question becomes whether they can keep it all intact or whether the pressures of the outside world will finally take their toll. And then there's the looming threat from a new mysterious presence. Rumors have begun to swirl about a powerful investor interested in acquiring Heartland. This individual has a reputation for turning profitable businesses into commodities, stripping them of everything that makes them unique. Amy and Jack, knowing how much the ranch means to the family, are immediately wary. But the threat isn't just external. The growing tension within the family, combined with the mounting pressures on the ranch, has begun to create rifts between the generations. Some people see the potential financial opportunity as a way to ensure Heartland's future, while others worry that giving up everything they've worked for could be the end of their dreams. As Amy battles her own personal demons, the outside world begins to push in. The family must confront not only their grief and struggles, but also the very real possibility that Heartland, as they know it, could be taken from them. It's a terrifying prospect, one that forces Amy to make decisions she never thought she would have to face. The battle for Heartland isn't just about cattle and land, it's about the very heart of the family. The choices they make in the coming days will determine the future of the ranch, and with it, the future of everything they hold dear. Amy knows she has to be the one to step up, not just for herself and her child, but for the legacy of Heartland. But with so much at stake, the pressure is building, and the walls are closing in. The fate of the family, the ranch, and everything they fought for hangs in the balance. As the screen fades to black, one question echoes in the minds of all who love Heartland. Will the family pull together in time to save the ranch? Or will they be torn apart by the very forces that threaten to destroy them?